Hi guys, I'm Christopher Pittman. I've got a bachelor's in digital media and currently oversee 6 pay-per-click accounts. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about click fraud, what is click fraud, how we prevent it, and is it currently affecting any of my accounts? Basically, I'm going to go into my accounts, show you some images from my accounts that I oversee, and we'll see if we can find click fraud there. So what is click fraud? Click fraud is simply someone clicking on your pay-per-click ads with no intent of purchasing a product. So that's pretty simple and self-explanatory there. Okay, so click fraud happens because there's incentives. So the most common form of click fraud is in the affiliate market. What an affiliate market is somebody will have a website and they'll get in touch with Google and say, okay, Google, I've got several slots where you can put ads on my website. This is my website content. Can you find ads that kind of match? And Google will place ads on those pages. Now, the incentive for somebody to be an affiliate is they get revenue every time somebody clicks on that ad. So that works. Where that misfires sometimes is these affiliates might not be the most upright individual sometimes, and will click those ads, and they'll get pretty complicated in doing that. They'll create fake blogs, fake Google accounts, and go in and click that ad a whole bunch to generate revenue for themselves. So that's why I always recommend people stay clear of that affiliate market, just because that incentive for those clicks are there, and it's very real. And about 40% of click fraud actually comes in through that affiliate market. So the second kind of real issue with click fraud is a competitor trying to push your ads off of Google. When you set up a pay-per-click account, what happens is you bid on a particular keyword, a key phrase. Oftentimes those can get really expensive. I've got one particular keyword right now that's running me almost $6.50 as of today. So, and I'm pretty sure that'll go up for the end of the year. But what'll happen is a competitor will say, okay, I want to pay $6.54 where I'm paying $6.55, and they'll go in the morning and click my ad multiple times. And what that does is that exhausts my budget for the day, for that term, and then the competitor's ad shows the rest of the day. So that's an incentive for a competitor to push your ads and do that. So those are the two main kind of issues. The third is kind of this zombie zone where people just want to crash the system, and they link up a whole bunch of computers and just program computers to just randomly attack ads. But that's really not something that we can control or we can really monitor for. It's something that Google's even having issues with. So, all right. So, am I currently being affected by click fraud on my 6 pay-per-click accounts? And the short answer is no. I monitor the accounts, and also Google monitors the accounts. And how that got kind of special, I recommend that any account manager actually goes through and gets the Google certifications and gets your Google partnership certifications. So what that does for you is get you a direct line to a Google rep that actually monitors your account. Your account will actually be assigned to a Google rep, and you'll have their name and email directly. So I highly recommend getting those certs, getting those partnerships. It's actually worth it quite a bit to do that. So, um, me and I've got 3 reps over at Google that actually look at those accounts with me once a quarter to make sure they're good to go. So, no, I don't suspect that I'm being affected by click fraud, but as promised, I will show you guys the monitoring of some of my accounts. So let's get into that. All right, so the first thing I recommend with pay-per-click for click fraud is monitoring. You want to monitor these accounts, one, to make sure that your money's actually producing you something, but secondly, that you're not having massive click fraud. So on this first image here, what I've got pulled up, this is a standard report for me. You have to program it. It's got new users, pay users, and kind of return users. And this monitor, this one is just my keywords, just my Google AdWords inside Google Analytics. So what this shows me is I have, a couple of instances where there's a couple of minor blips where I've had somebody click my account, click on an ad twice. This is, 2 blips since January. Not really concerned. There's not really a pattern here that would indicate an issue. Okay, on the second one, you see a few more of these little blips. This is something that I've actually sat down with my Google reps about. And this account did have a little bit of click fraud in it. As you can see here, several times this particular day, I had several return clicks from the same visitor. And we'll look at that here in a minute. And then on this third account, again, it's the same as my first one, in that I don't have these spikes underneath that would indicate multiple return users. And I think this one is this first one here. And what you see is these Google Client IDs, right? So this particular individual returned twice. We did look at that. What we found is that particular user did the pay-per-click ad twice and then organic searched and actually made a purchase. So that was actually a non-issue, but I did want to show kind of in the analytics kind of what this kind of looks like. When you dig further down into it, that middle analytics, this is what I had going on here. In my paid traffic, again, this is the same report. It's just reported it differently for me so that I could see these individual clients, right? I've got paid traffic here. I've got return user, right? This is a red flag for me, this 7 right here. So what we did is we went ahead and broke that 7 out into this. And this is a very clear instance of click fraud. The times are really, really close together. It's paid ad, paid ad, paid ad. Like I said, in that other instance, it was paid ad, organic search, and then you could actually see where they had purchased through the website. So this is kind of how we do the monitoring. Now, in this issue, what we did here is we sent this to my Google representative, and they went ahead and reimbursed me. Google actually gave me my money back, and they blocked that client for me. So that's some of the advantages of being a Google partner and having the certifications and actually working with them, having a partnership with them, and going through that. So What we can figure from all of this, working with Google and going through and monitoring everything, is that it's less than 2% of all of my clicks are return users. And what you would see in click fraud is that that number would be higher, and it would be something we would need to monitor a little bit more aggressively. So, aggressive monitoring would be something like TrueClick. There are companies out there that will monitor our accounts for us for fraud, and will actually work with Google, basically do the same thing that I'm doing, and the same thing with Google that we're already doing. But one of these companies is TrueClick. Okay, TrueClick. For the plan that I need for my 6 accounts, it would cost me somewhere around $129 a month. Again, they would be doing exactly the same thing that I do, except for they use a algorithm to do it, where I just pull it up in analytics and look at the back end and say, this is interesting, so I need to call my Google rep and spend 2 minutes on the phone. What this $129 represents is more than 10% of my budget that I spend on all of those accounts together. So I projected that if I if I got a TrueClick account for these websites, what would happen is I would lose about $100 a month, and I'd have kind of triple redundant monitoring on that account. So I would not recommend that at this time, because there's not a massive issue on my accounts with click fraud, because I do actively monitor those and work with Google. So, all right. So I think that's it. Here's the references for Google AdWords, Wired.com, and TrueClick. All right. Thank you.